Story 1. No one calls. No one texts. No one emails. No one visits. No one asks you to do things in any forum. No one accepts your invitations to do activities. Not enough. People do not give you small gifts, and they are very reluctant to accept gifts from you. No one asks for your opinion on anything. You notice people making fun of you or speaking poorly about you. Someone tells you, no one likes you, and you feel unable to prove otherwise. I can continue. Story 2. Not a single person checks in on me or invites me out. I'm actually a really lonely person and always have been. I think I'm pretty okay, to be honest. I do talk a lot, but not excessively. I believe I'm a good friend, but people only seem to want to know me when it benefits them. It's sad, really. I'm always the one checking in on others or trying to make plans to hang out with them. Story 3. This post made me realize I truly am unlovable. Whether I am people-pleasing or not, I do not belong on this planet. Story 4. Having to start every conversation while the other person ends the conversation to talk to someone else. Story 5. When people turn off the light when they leave the room you're in, I don't mind if they don't want to talk to me. I understand I can be perceived as weird. However, when I don't even register as a human being in their peripheral vision, that stings. Story 6. No one shares, talks, calls, includes in plans, or even discusses experiences related to those plans. Nor do they ask how the day was. Story 7. I can't imagine a world where no one likes you. There are many personality types, and not everyone will get along with everyone else. Even the most difficult people have friends and loved ones. If you find yourself surrounded by people who seem to not like you, then move on to find others who do. And remember, you can't expect everyone to like you, just as you don't like everyone else. Story 8. Withholding information. Shutting down during important conversations. Being dismissive of your disability, whether it is invisible or physical. Obsessed with individuality and uniqueness, yet claiming they wish they were more like you to connect with you, and then accusing you of mimicking them. Story 9. My dad once sent me a text meant for his girlfriend. Dad, love you. Me, yeah, me too. Dad, that wasn't meant for you. Me, didn't think it would be. Dad. No answer. Story 10. When I was in 8th grade, my class went on a ski trip. At the top of the hill, someone told me to go down first, and the rest of the group would follow. Took me a few minutes of waiting at the bottom before I understood what had happened. Story 11. We thought about inviting you, was said to my face. They considered inviting me but then decided against it. However, they made sure I knew I wasn't invited. Story 12. We have received enough disappointing responses already. I prefer to believe that everyone is lovable and that people do like us. We just do not see it. Story 13. I realize people absolutely love me when they can make me their clown or when I play the fool in the friendship. As soon as I stopped that behavior, I often felt people also stopped liking me. Story 14. The group chat goes silent when you speak, but the moment one girl complains about the same issue for the 6th time that week, the chat lights up and your phone vibrates off your desk. Story 15. When many people want to know details about your life but do not seem to want to help you, it is likely because they are anticipating hearing about your failures. Story 16. Reading all the reasons. I guess I'm in the category of not liked. If anything happened to me, no one would know. No one would come looking. I don't think I'd be missed. Story 17. Your calls are no longer answered. You are associated with negative emotions, and we no longer keep in touch by choice. People decide not to remember you. Story 18. I have a few thoughts on work-related issues. No one invites you for lunch. You could ask, but everyone says no, thank you, and then goes without you a little later. If you ask basic questions like how someone's weekend was, they respond with okay, and provide no further conversation in return. Generally, people avoid speaking to you and being around you. I hope no one has to experience this. Sometimes it is culturally related. Maybe you're not close enough yet or not in the right group. It's beneficial to engage in some self-reflection, but avoid excessive overthinking. Story 19. When you act like a know-it-all scofflaw dictator and economically devastate all of your supporters. Story 20. There is no single sign. People you just meet do not make judgments about you until they spend maybe 5 minutes with you. Do not ask yourself this question. You can change your behavior and appearance so that people find you attractive or at least acceptable. To present yourself better, here are some suggestions. Stand up straight. Make eye contact when you listen to them. Share information about yourself, what you do, what you like, and what you do not like. Prepare questions to ask them. Try to relax and give yourself a chance to connect. Story 21. When you are invited to a social gathering with 3 men and 2 women, you may feel like the extra person who is there as a contrast, making it easier for the other 2 to connect. Story 22. If people independently gathered in crowds in cities across the country in opposition to me, while simultaneously holding signs with my name or face on them in banners, and chanting my name, I suppose I might see where some people do not like me very much. I guess, but whatever. Story 23. They didn't join me on the dance floor a few times. I danced alone, watching them look at me. We are no longer friends. Story 24. When you attend a social gathering focused on meeting new people, and nobody talks to you or acknowledges your attempts to engage in conversation, it can be discouraging. Story 25. Everyone goes silent when you speak. You may also notice people exchanging strange looks. Story 26. If you live alone, the way to tell is this. Do you know for a fact that no one is going to text, call, knock on your door, email you, or invite you anywhere because no one ever does? That is a really good way to tell, but it doesn't work if you are avoiding people or experiencing agoraphobia. If you are in a group setting, whether at work, school, family gatherings, or social events, and you notice that there is someone who doesn't engage with you, not even making eye contact, it can feel as though you are invisible. Story 27. When you are surprised to find someone texting you, but they are just asking for a favor, you might imagine it to be a dating invitation. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Story 28. My former best friend and I were trying to rekindle our friendship after I left the band we were in with some other friends. I thought I would talk to him about hanging out and skating. One day, while walking with a classmate to hang out outside of school, I saw some kids skating. It was him and the others from the band skating together. I just wish he had been more honest with me, but the honesty came out in the worst way. I texted him to make plans about hanging out sometime, and he replied, "Actually, I don't think we should hang out anymore. I get a weird vibe from you now." He backtracked and we hung out again, but I realized he wasn't a good friend, so I decided to drop him and the others completely. Story 29. I have had no contact with anyone other than my husband and one friend who have called or messaged me this year unless they needed something. For example, my sister reached out to me regarding a specific day to see our dad, who has dementia, because she could not make it. Story 30. I attend a group each week where the members often talk among themselves but do not actively engage with me. I try to start conversations, but last week, while doing a craft, a woman responded to me and simultaneously made a mistake with the craft. She quickly criticized me, implying that if I hadn't talked to her, she would have done it correctly. After that, I did not say another word for the next 45 minutes, and when I left, none of the 7 other members said goodbye or acknowledged me. They just kept their heads down. This is the second group I will be leaving in the past year due to this type of behavior directed at me. Story 31. When someone new arrives and wants to sit at your table, but there is not enough room, the others may ask you to leave. You move to another table, yet everyone there complains and prevents you from sitting with them. Story 32. Looking at your phone 30 minutes after the New Year's Eve countdown, there is not a single message saying Happy New Year from friends or family. Story 33. Nobody talks to you unless they actually need something from you. When they do, it's short and brief, and then they ghost you. Story 34. I sit here thinking about this and reading replies. I look at my call record. The only person to call me in the last 7 months is my boss. The only person to answer a call is a handyman. Story 35. People only message or call you when they want something, such as money, companionship, drinks, or a night out. They never reach out to ask about you or to check in. They only contact you when they need something. Story 36. Your name is Andrew Tate. I have met individuals whose opinions have shifted. I don't think even 18-year-old boys like him anymore. Story 37. I think it's much more complicated than what is here. There are people who like to plan things and invite others, and people who prefer to hang back and let others lead. For me, I've noticed that those who are always doing the inviting are not necessarily the people I like, but I'm invited, so I go. I just try to navigate whatever issues they have, which tend to be narcissistic. Then, there are the people I like, but they tend to be quieter and less narcissistic, yet they often seem busy. Maybe they are just trying to find peace in life. I'm one of the quieter ones, so I'm hesitant to reach out. I wait for others to invite me. There is also a difference between boys and girls. I belong to a wine group where I socialize and make female friends, particularly those who are not narcissistic. Yet, it's the guys who dominate my time there. I feel like I'm swimming upstream each visit, trying to escape the guys and connect with the women. Anyway, don't make broad assumptions while reading this, as it is much more nuanced. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.